So, my current view of the political climate for 2020 is reflected in what we saw in what's being termed the rainbow wave, and that is that youth and diversity came out, and youth and diversity won the day. And knowing that, I think, and it makes perfect sense that they would, right? I mean, our older population in the United States is less diverse than the younger population. I think that's understood. That the older population probably didn't empower women as much as the younger generation has been attempted to be empowered. So that youthfulness went along with women and people of color winning in these races is not really a surprise. And I think that needs to inform the Democratic slate for the ticket for 2020. And bottom line is that if we want to win, and I think we all do, my advice is simple. No one over the age of 60, no white men on the ticket. So, and definitely at least one person of color and at least one woman. And they cannot be, a Kamala Harris and go, oh, good, that gives us a chance to put in a white dude. You can get to qualify her as one or the other, essentially. She either qualifies as you're a person of color or you're a woman, but she gets one, essentially. And she'd be a great choice. Right now, she might even be my front runner. But then, like with the Kamala Harris, you could add a Cory Booker or Deval Patrick on one end, or on the other end, you could add like a Amy Klobuchar. Sorry if I butchered her name, or Kirsten Gillibrand. You get the idea. And a Kirsten Gillibrand, Cory Booker's ticket would be okay as well. We want youth and diversity to win out, because I believe that will drive out our base. And we spend the next 2 years not worrying about trying to make our message so centrist that, people disaffected by the Republican Party will want to vote, but rather spend the next 2 years explaining that what might be perceived as an extreme view, like Medicare for all, is actually very sensible and pragmatic and not an extreme view at all, and registering people who are younger to vote to make sure that they drive out the vote in 2020. And so apologies to Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, although I don't really think she was planning on running again, but I've heard rumors that she was pondering it or leaving the door open. Apologies to Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, who I love. I love Elizabeth Warren. I think it's a shame that she's never going to be president, but she's not. She's too old. I mean, Donald Trump's not too old because he represents the party of old white dudes. Like, he drives out the base. He is the living symbol of the never-ending tyranny of white supremacy. Like, old white dudes forever in power. So having an old white dude at the top of the ticket turns out the Republican base. Having an old white dude at the top of the Democratic ticket depresses the base, literally and figuratively. Like, could there be anything, a movement that is centered around women and people of color having their standard bearer be yet another white dude? I can't think of anything more depressing than that, honestly. So let's not do it. No white dudes. No one over 60 or older. I want the first digit in their age to be 5 or less. Am I going to get that? I don't know. I'm hoping that Democrats are listening to not just this message, but I imagine that more and more people are figuring this out. But yeah, that's my take. Like, if you put two people on that ticket that are both in their 50s, and both of them are diverse candidates, I think we can win. If you put an old white dude in, it doesn't matter who you put with the old white dude, because the old white dude will be at the top of the ticket, right? It's not like Joe Biden's running for VP again. If he runs, he's running for president, and it doesn't matter who you put. You could put, I would say Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, but she's too young to actually be the vice president. So, but somebody 35 and with her credentials for progressivism, and it wouldn't matter. You do not turn out the base with the vice presidential candidate. And that's my daughter. I gotta go. Yeah, that's my take.